The moment is here, you can stop your search. It's Comics by Perch.
Hey everybody, this is Perch. One of the kind of frustrating parts about comics, talking about comics, and people chatting about them, is that we've entered this zone where, comics are kind of protected by the subject matter. So it makes it very difficult to either criticize or compliment them. It does cut both ways. If you have a comic that is dealing with kind of LGBTQ themes, then praising it or insulting it is, you're basically just sticking yourself into a kind of a chopping zone where people are going to, assume that your like or dislike is about things other than the comic. And it's represented in this mail here. It says, "Hey Perch, I've been listening to your show now for several months. One of the things I'm confused about is which side of the culture war you're on. Brother, good luck. Good luck with that one." Good luck. Recently, you attack is a strong word. You attacked the Hawkgirl series for what you said was mind-numbing dialogue. Did I say mind-numbing? That sounds very polite for me. Anyway. However, this title is one of the few on the shelves that is promoting LGBTQ, non-white, marginalized views. I want to believe, whenever somebody says I want to believe, I don't really believe they want to believe. Unless it's the X-Files and it's a poster in Mulder's office, I think it's I want to believe that you're an objective reader of comics, but it's tough when you attack a comic featuring marginalized people. Please help me understand. Okay. So, look, at the end of the day, this is something you got to make peace with in your own mind. You just got to make peace with the fact that, stuff you like or dislike, it's up to you. And if somebody takes issue with it or there's any kind of shenanigans around it, that's on them, not you. So, I can point out that this, I barely remember this video. I think I was talking about this page in Hawkgirl where Hawkgirl gets really angry and basically beats a guy to death and is going, I am my own person. What, you want somebody who's white? This was the dialogue, not my commentary. And I was saying this is a terrible dialogue. And it is. I mean, it's all subjective. So for me, it's terrible dialogue. There's a more recent page in Hawkgirl where they're kind of wrapping it up. So it's a mini series. A bunch of people came in to say, this video was wrong because you didn't say it was a mini series. I'm not sure that matters. In current comics, they're all mini series today. I mean, or it feels like it. Maybe with this current comic, they're kind of wrapping it up, and there's this girl, and I think she's been kind of into another girl, but they haven't they just for what I thought, hey, this relationship's kind of been sealed, but no. But the one character saying, Taylor, are you okay? Now, the character who's walking has a giant black shirt that just says the word dyke over and over on it. This is in the comic. This isn't me. And she's saying, Kat, oh, sorry, I was thinking about candy. And then the other girl says, listen, I want you to listen. I want you to listen to me. Your home is here, all right, with me, just as mine is here with you. Your home is in my heart. The past is the past. You're my present. The emphasis I'm giving is the bold text in the comic again. Does that mean you're going to unwrap me later? It's taking all my willpower not to unwrap you right now. You're going to earn that Green Lantern ring in no time. And they kiss. And then the Hawkgirl comes up, and she's got a shirt on that says, no one likes us, we don't care. And the shirt, this is the kind of stuff that bothers me. Again, please take note. The fact that you've got a bunch of lesbian or bi people of color on this page is not that's not the problem at all. The thing that actually bothers me on this page is you got this text on the shirt that says no one likes us, we don't care, but they've taken Photoshop and they've used the warp tool to kind of warp the words so it kind of looks like the shape of the body and in particular the breasts, but It looks bizarre. It looks clearly photoshopped. And it just looks weird. That's I'm sorry. That drives me crazy. When people put text on a shirt and they're clearly just typing the text in Photoshop and then they're warping it, it's like uncanny valley territory time for me. It looks super, super strange. Anyway, Hawkgirl says, careful, those power rings are more trouble than they're worth. And the friend says, you wore a green lantern ring? And then she says, well, not a green one. And the challenge here, and same thing with the other page, is that the dialogue is terrible. Listen, I want you to listen to me. It's not good. It's not good writing. But because here's the thing, and this is where I believe that a lot of commentary is getting kind of, in a weird place and it's getting warped. Take all these people, and you could easily have this be, a white man and a white woman in a hetero white relationship saying the exact same things. You could replace it, put Cyclops and Jean Grey there, and nothing has to change in this entire thing. I mean, you might, it might be a little weird if, Scott Summers has a shirt that says Dyke on it, but otherwise, everything on here you could easily do with two white people in a hetero relationship. It doesn't make it better at all. And please hear that part. It's still stupid. The dialogue is the problem here. It's not the relationship. It's not the color of their skin. One of these women here is purple. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just bad writing. And this is a thing that in comics is for me at least, is screwy. And it has made it so that if you say, I don't like something, and the something you don't like fits into certain categories, you're screwed. To a much lesser extent, by the way, much, much lesser. If you attack something or say you don't like something from the 90s, you get a whole different crew of people off, crapping on you. And this was evident in a video I did where it was one of the Avengers reviews. I reviewed the #1 issues for all the Avengers. And in one of them, you've got the Enchantress. And Liefeld has drawn her with 20-foot legs. Like it is a bizarre-ass picture. And I said so. This is a bizarre-ass picture. And people came out of the woodwork to say, how dare you? Like, it was weird looking. That's all. It was weird. And I think that this is, this is a problem in comics is we're not meant to just consume. And then if things fall into certain categories, just bite your tongue. You can't say anything about it. I think, quite frankly, I'll throw this out there since there has been, let me speculate on this. And this would be a good topic when Joe Corallo was on here. There were a lot of comics, underground comics or indie comics, true indie comics, not like 2023 indie comics, but I'm like 1994 indie comics when, there's a good chance they were printed off on a photocopy machine and stapled, and somebody hand colored the cover, and they were excited to sell like 30 copies. That used to be something that happened, by the way. But anyway, so back then you'd get very amateurish writing because people were starting out in their comic book journey. And, a lot of those stories were, queer-based comics. And that it made sense that they were there because the big two were not going to publish anything like this. So it was going to be an independent comic, and you had very amateur-level writing, and that was okay. The okay part was still bad writing in a lot of cases, but, these creators were working their way up. And several of them got better and better and better. We had Mark Miller on the show in an interview a while back, and he made the comment about how his writing has improved. And you can see it when you go back and see his early stuff, and you see his later stuff. You see him getting better. This is normal. In today's mainstream comics, you have a lot of people who really have close to zero comic writing experience, less than 5 years. And yet they're pushed onto the mainstream. They're pushed onto kind of a bigger stage now, and they're not ready. And that's not a knock, again, about the skin color, about the gender, about anything. It's a knock against the fact that they just are not yet ready for prime time, which is true of 100% of everyone in whatever industry you're in. You need time to practice. You need time to kind of get it right, and to kind of say, well, certain topics, you just, you can't criticize them. I don't think it does them any favors at all. I don't think it does these creators any benefit when they're shielded from critique because of the content they write. They don't get better. In fact, you see some of these people get angry online, and I get it. I get why they're angry. They're angry by and large because, they've been told by editors like, it's fine. The editors aren't paying attention, but the editor is meant to be a safety net to keep them out of exactly this scenario where they get exposed. I mean, you do a lot of wrestling analogies. If you have no wrestling skill, or rather you're at the start, they don't put you out there in the main event. They don't do that because you're going to hurt somebody, and it's not going to go well. So that's the stuff that we really, I mean, in comics, I don't think it benefits anyone to shield them from criticism. To the contrary, I think it hurts them. I think it has a high likelihood of arresting their development, not, helping them get better as talented people. And and maybe some of these people never get better. That's fine too. But the reality is, it's not useful to protect someone who is not ready. And, as a result, the quality of the work is poor. It gets mocked. And then we say, we say, well, it must be because of, the subject matter is why everybody's mocking it. And it can't possibly be because, the writing is bad. See, that it's a bad trap. Again, it's a bad trap for everyone involved. Nobody wins in this scenario. It just makes the person look stupid. It, by and large, no editor will say so, but the likelihood of them getting another gig is zero. A lot of the writers that we've seen, I've pointed this out before, a lot of the writers who, have come around in the last 5 years and they've done a short story or a limited series, you don't see them again. They're just gone. And, the reason they're gone is because there's, the quality of their work equaled zero sales. And so, nobody bought it. They have no track record. They got relentlessly mocked online. They were encouraged or supported by friends of theirs who either are not working or, also selling low numbers in comics. And so, what's the result? Well, in 2 to 3 years, they wash out, and then they have nothing. And then, every now and then they get to meet up with, Rich Johnston, talk about how, the evil online trolls ran them out of comics. And it's like, is anybody sick of this cycle? I would hope so, because who's it benefiting? At this point, nobody's a winner. And so, to answer a letter writer, no. I think that the subject matter, doesn't matter the race, doesn't matter gender, doesn't matter anything to do with the sexual preference. It's the writing. At least for me. I'm not speaking for the entire world. I acknowledge and guarantee you that there are people out there who are attacking these books purely because of the stuff. There's a guy who posts on a regular basis, and stuff always goes into the deleted comments, or not the deleted comments, the banned comments saying, there shouldn't be women writing comics. No women writing comics. So it's an absurd, stupid, sexist thing to say. Particularly when you have amazing women writers in comics, you have plenty of them. The idea of no, we can't, that's just a stupid thing to say. I can't defend that and wouldn't want to. This guy's just an idiot. But, for me anyway, and I think for more people than you realize, it's about the writing is terrible. That's the problem. And so, there you go. And by the way, you're free to still believe what you think, of course. It's up to you. But that's my honest answer. Nothing to do with marginalized people. I saw this. There's recently this backlash. I still like Spectrum Monica Rambeau. I have seen some people online, comic creators, going, "Oh, Monica Rambeau is a a Nazi dog whistle. It's like those people don't actually like Spectra, Monica Rambeau. They just use her whenever they want to claim that they're they're enlightened or they're not racist. What? That's absurd. Again, I was reading this comic. I was going to the store buying this thing off the spinner rack with this character. I've talked about that character becoming the leader of the Avengers and that storyline, why it was good, over and over and over again. You're not going to tell me that's all fake because why? Because I'm trying to anyway. This world is stupid. A lot of people in it are stupid, but anyway, maybe not you. I don't know. Thanks for listening.